Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
As we see the snow job that's coming on climate change, you understand there's a snow job that's been sold to us about the surveillance state. And at the heart of that is Google. We're going to look at both the past and the future of Google and a story from today's headlines that gives us an insight into their close collaboration with the surveillance state. Now, it was just last week that we talked about Google's Aaron Schmidt at Davos saying that he saw the end of the internet. That was the way the headlines read in the mainstream media. But of course, Paul Joseph Watson got it right when he says he's really greasing the skids for an internet brain chip. He pointed out they asked if such a system would be vulnerable to government surveillance, and a fellow named Huffman glibly responded that people should just trust Google. Yeah, you should just trust them. Don't be concerned about what they're going to do. They've proven themselves so trustworthy, haven't they? Well, not in today's headlines. We're going to see that they've turned over a lot of information. Of course, we know they've been a part of the PRISM program with the government, but they've been deeply embedded for decades with the CIA, with the surveillance state. There was an excellent article that was written by Medium.com. You'll find it on Infowars.com. It came out this weekend, talking about how the CIA made Google. Here's a subtitle: Inside the Secret Network Behind Mass Surveillance, Endless War, and Skynet. And they point out that, of course, this goes back to the Highland Forum, In-Q-Tel, which is the venture capital arm of the CIA, and direct funding from DARPA, NASA, and the NSA. This is something that's been going on for 20 years. It's a very lengthy article. We don't have time to go into all the details, but you should take a look at it and understand where Google is coming out. Today, we see the results of that. We see where they're headed in the future with the brain implant chips that, of course, we just need to trust Google. They would never misuse that power that they would have. We see where they're coming from, a collaboration with the U.S. surveillance state. And then we get a glimpse of what they're doing at the moment and something that reflects on CISPA as well. The Guardian reports that WikiLeaks demands answers after Google hands the staff emails to U.S. government. That's right, for 3 years, they were collecting everything they could on WikiLeaks staff members, 3 in particular, and they just now notified them. WikiLeaks said it is astonished and disturbed that Google waited more than 2.5 years to notify its subscribers, potentially depriving them of their ability to protect their rights to privacy, association, and freedom from illegal searches. And one of the people at WikiLeaks had this quote. She said, "Knowing that the FBI read the words I wrote to console my mother over a death in the family makes me feel sick." That's one aspect that people who say they really don't care if the government looks at all of their emails, that's one aspect they should think of. Don't you have any self-respect? Don't you have anything that is private that you don't feel like goons in the central government ought to be pawing over your personal private matters? Don't you have any self-respect? That's all I can say to the people who think that the surveillance state doesn't matter, that we need this in order to catch criminals. We need blanket surveillance, which we're getting. Now, she also accused Google of helping the U.S. government conceal, quote, the invasion of privacy into a British journalist's personal emails. Neither Google nor the U.S. government are living up to their own laws or rhetoric in privacy or in press protection, she said. Well, of course, that's the whole point of CISPA. See, they've been doing this for a very long time. They've been working with the NSA, the CIA since their inception. They've been spying on us in a dragnet way. And of course, this is to protect them and companies like cell phone companies, internet service providers who have been collaborators, who have been government snitches. It is to protect them for what they call intelligence sharing. That's what CISPA is about, Cyber Intelligence Sharing Protection Act, to protect people like Google that is doing this. Julian Assange, WikiLeaks founder and editor-in-chief, said these secret search warrants were part of a, quote, serious and seriously wrong attempt to build an alleged conspiracy case against me and my staff. He said the real conspiracy was Google rolling over yet again to help the U.S. government violate the Constitution by taking over journalists' private emails in response to give us everything warrants. And he also pointed out that it stands in stark contrast to what Twitter did. Twitter fought and blocked these same kind of requests from the U.S. government. But of course, not in the case of Google. That's why the government designed and built it in the first place. Now, it's interesting as we look at the internet, which was created by the government, by DARPA as a DARPA project, the unintended consequences of their surveillance state. Of course, when they watch us and they create the mechanism to watch us, we also have the ability to watch them and to understand what they're doing to a much greater degree. We see this report from Infowars. Sheriffs want a popular police tracking app disabled. This is an app where you go back and you look to see where the police are. It's called Waze. Sheriffs are campaigning to pressure Google to turn off a feature on its Waze traffic software that warns drivers when police are nearby. They say one of the technology industry's most popular mobile apps could put officers' lives in danger from would-be police killers who can find where their targets are parked. Look, they're not under any danger. This is something that's been done millions of times all across the world. There's not a single incident to establish this, and yet in their paranoia, they want to shut it down. They point out that Waze was purchased by Google for nearly $1 billion in 2013. Of course, if you don't know what this app is, it's a GPS navigation social networking app. They have 50 million users in 200 countries that use this free service for real-time traffic guidance and warnings about nearby congestion, car accidents, speed traps, or traffic cameras. Of course, that's why people are using Waze, primarily to look for speed traps. Maybe these sheriffs ought to take a look at the example of the New York City police, who, when they got angry at City Hall, said, "We're not going to unnecessarily ticket and arrest people in order to make revenue for you." That's the real story.
Every year we make resolutions to lose weight and get in shape. And the truth is, it's hard, even with diet and exercise, because of toxic food and our environment that is stressing our bodies more than ever before. Working with experts in nutrition and biochemistry, I found that super high-quality nutraceuticals, in addition to my diet and exercise, were the answers that synergistically worked. I could see the drastic changes every day with the amount of weight I've lost, my increased stamina, and more of a twinkle in my eye. That's why we are now so excited to launch the Infowars Life Resolution Pack, combining 3 essential formulations: oxygen-based cleanser Oxy Powder, the Secret 12 bioavailable vitamin B12, and your choice of super female or super male vitality. Now all available at a discounted price to you and your family to bring in the new year and make 2015 a true success. That's InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. 2015 is the year to do it, and it all starts at InfoWarsLife.com.